Hello everyone, Tirza Hawkins here for Natural Health Warriors, and today if my background looks different it's because I'm sitting down. I had to make myself a little bit more comfortable because I'm going to tell you my story, something I don't do a lot. I should probably do it more, and yeah, I'm a little nervous about doing this, so I did write out some notes so that I could keep track of everything I wanted to tell you. You would think that I would know my own story, but we kind of forget a lot of the details as we get caught up in our everyday life. So I really wanted to share this with you, and I will do my best to keep collected and move through it. So bear with me. So when I started getting really interested in natural health, I was probably 27. And a little bit about my background, I was always really sick as a child. I was very depressed as a teenager. I had lots of food allergies, seasonal allergies, sinus infections. I was diagnosed with depression at the age of 14. I'd always struggled with my weight and my self-esteem. And then as I got older and into my early 20s, I was struggling with a lot of chronic fatigue and chronic pain. It would feel like my shoulders were just like crawling up, like my shoulders and neck would get so tight. They'd like crawl up and be like this vice around my head. I'd have no energy in the morning. It did not matter how long I slept. I could sleep for 10 hours and still just wake up exhausted for my day. It didn't matter if I worked out or not. I was still gonna be in pain if I worked out or if I just laid in bed. So I did start leading Zumba classes. That was really exciting to me. So my husband and I, we had been married for close to 7 years at this time. We lost a lot of weight together. We were both at our heaviest when we got married. So at this point, I had lost about 50 pounds and we were getting really active and starting to run together. And at this time, I was working 2 jobs because what you don't learn until you start a new business is that your business doesn't support you, you end up supporting your business for a while. So, and I wanted to lose weight, feel good about myself. I'd achieved that. I wanted to be fit. We were starting to run together. We wanted to at least start running some 5Ks, some half marathons. Those sounded really exciting to us at the time. And my husband would call me a workhorse because if you set me in front of a physical project that required just some repetitive labor, I could just get in and get it done. And I really enjoyed doing that, but I was feeling like that was reaching its end because I was struggling so much with the pain. And then even though I'd lost the weight, I still didn't feel good about myself. I had so much negative self-talk in my head, and I really didn't want to be like my mom. So a lot of you out there, I hope you have really wonderful, amazing women for mothers. I grew up watching my mom live half of her life in bed. She was always just in there watching TV, playing video games because it hurt too much and she was so depressed that there was nothing else that she really wanted to do. If you've ever seen the show Willy Wonka, it was kind of like, you know how at the beginning, all of those grandparents, they're in bed, and then when Charlie wins the golden ticket, all of a sudden the one grandpa who's super excited about the chocolate factory is able to get out of bed. That's what my mom was like. It took something really exciting to get her out of bed and get her motivated and going. Otherwise, she just didn't do anything with her life. So I was afraid that since I was 27, I was already struggling so much. I I was afraid, well, this is all there is. It's downhill from here. Because isn't that the way it works? As we get older, things just get worse. So the doctors weren't helping. I had been in for multiple antidepressants that weren't doing their job. I lost the weight, so a lot of people say that their doctor tells them, you know, if you've got some chronic pain or other health issues, you're just told to lose some weight. Well, I had lost 50 pounds and that didn't make anything better. And for some people, losing weight can actually make your symptoms worse. So I didn't want to continue like this. I was trying everything that I knew how to do and researching things. I was trying different books. I tried a research study for a antidepressant fibromyalgia medication. I was trying herbal remedies like St. John's wort and other ones I don't remember because I would try them for a few months and not notice a difference. So I needed a different plan. Things were not working well. This was not how I wanted to be. And my amazing mom-in-law told me about this health class that was just a town over. So I rearranged my schedule, 3 schedules, because I had the business we were starting that I worked at and the 2 other jobs. I rearranged my schedule and decided I was going to go out there and take this class. It was only $15. And I had nothing against supplements. I mean, I had grown up having to choke down calcium pills that tasted like chalk and swallow cod liver oil and bentonite clay, all of those great stuff. But if it helped, I was willing to do it. So the class was only held once a month on a Tuesday. And I had my schedule all planned out, was ready to go. About 2 hours before the class, they give me a call and let me know that the other 2 people that had registered were no longer going to be able to make it. I was the only one registered for the class that night. Could we reschedule? I told them I understood if you need to do that, if that's what's best for you, but I don't know when I will be able to make it out there next because of all of the rearranging that I needed to do to make it work. They were so gracious. And Karen, the natural health practitioner, agreed to meet with me one-on-one and teach me that class for just the $15. So I drove the 30 miles to their store and met with her. So it was just her and I, and she had this booklet that she took people through. It was a basics of health class that you were required to take before you could even become a client with her, because you needed to know this basic information to get anywhere with your health. So it was akin to if you buy a car, you need to know that the oil needs changed and how to keep your tires inflated and things like that, spark plugs, you know, just basics of owning a car. So this was basics of your body. So we're going through this booklet and we reach a certain point where she's talking about bowel movements. And she says, if you have 3 meals into your body a day, 3 meals should be going out the other side every single day. And that's where I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Because rather than 3 times a day, I was 2 to 3 times a week. And my husband noticed it. I mean, we made fun of it because his bowels were normal. They moved 3 to 4 times a day. And so we would joke about how much time he spent in the bathroom and that I was rarely in there. So when Karen found out about 2 to 3 times a week for me, she's like, girl, we've got to get you moving. And that's how she talks to everyone. She's so cute. So she selected this really gentle herbal cleanse and said, you need to take this. Now, I was a struggling entrepreneur. I had come out there with the $15 in my pocket, and that was essentially all the money that I had. So I told her, I said, I can't pay for this. It was about, I think it was a $20 supplement. So she, against her normal nature, she's like, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to give this to you. Your situation is dire. You need this. We have got to get your bowels moving before something worse happens. Please just take this. So that was, I think it's 8 years ago now. I wrote down 7 on my paper. So I start taking it, just a tablespoon in the morning, tablespoon at night. It actually didn't taste that bad. It was a liquid. It didn't taste that bad. I actually learned, like, my body started craving it because I needed it so badly. And I started I had more energy. I had more brain power. I was in a better mood. It, like, almost overnight changed my life. I was like, this is it. I found it. All right, problem solved. We're good. I'm gonna be healthy and amazing for the rest of my life, right? Well, so that first bottle lasted me, I don't know if it was 10 days or 14 days, and then I was out of it, and then my body reverted back. Rather than a couple times a day, I was back to bowel movements 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm like, what happened? So I go back and learned that a 2 weeks on a supplement does not fix a lifetime of problems. We want it to. We all want it to. We're like, give me the easy solution. But that's not the case. So I started attending classes with Karen and learning more, and then asked her, she referred me to a school so that I could become a board certified holistic health practitioner, which I just achieved within the last month. As I was learning, I practiced everything I learned on myself. I learned, okay, juice fasting. All right, I want to know, how does that work? I learned about this herb. Okay, I'm going to take it. And I basically guinea pigged everything on myself for 8 years because I wanted to know how it worked. And then probably 5 years ago, I started working with clients. Maybe a little more, probably like 6 years ago now. So we've owned the gym for 5 years. I started working with clients, and oh my gosh, they started getting better. It was amazing. I was like, you know what? I might actually know what I'm doing. How crazy is that? So in the end, I realized I wasn't the problem. There's so much misinformation out there, and we can go and Google any symptom and come up with pages of results. We'll take this, do this. No, you have to eat this diet. No, you have to take this, but only on a full moon. Or you should take this, but only on an empty stomach. And you need to take this, and then 30 minutes later, follow it up with this, and your head's about to explode. How are you supposed to comprehend all that? So what I realized through the course of my studies was we have to fix the issue, not the symptom. If we're chasing symptoms, we're gonna chase them forever. It's like cleaning up dust bunnies without getting rid of the bunny. It's like, you know, we think, okay, I'm gonna, if you have, you know, a dog, people that have dog hair on the floor, they're always cleaning up the dog hair. Well, the dog hair is not the issue, that's just the symptom of owning a dog. I'm not saying get rid of your dog, please don't. Dogs are amazing, I love my dogs. I'm just trying to correlate it to something every day that we can understand, is that the symptom is not the issue. We always have to be going, what is causing this? And when you ask yourself, what is causing this enough times, then we get to the real issue and we can start working on that. So once I went from chronically depressed, chronically fatigued, in so much pain, not even wanting to live, to then my husband and I, we run marathons now. And just that transformation that I went through made me want to help others. It's why I started personal training. I lost 50 pounds. I want to teach others how to do this. So I have achieved vibrant health, more energy than I could ever think of. I actually have the brain power to sit here and talk to people. I'm not in a fog anymore. And that is why I got into natural health and want to help others so badly. So thank you all for listening. If you want more information on my latest project, whatever I'm doing, you can go to NH Warriors, stands for Natural Health, nhwarriors.com, and have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Be blessed.